Hey guys, Adam here from Sapphire Lake Comics. I am back again with some brand new comic book day reviews. This isn't just this past week of New Comic Book Day, this is also last week's New Comic Book Day. So I got 2 weeks worth of comics that I read all last night. It was a great way to spend my evening. Very relaxing. So we got 20 comics here to review, so we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, first up from Boom Studios, we have Something Is Killing the Children. This is issue number 18. Fantastic issue. We begin to watch how Erica starts her training to be initiated into the House of Slaughter, and we meet her trainer, whose name I already forgot, and we now know what the farm is, and we now know what the stuffed animal is for. Not just to store monsters, it's also going to be used in her training. So very interesting issue. The beginning is a typical day. Wake up from sleep at 6 in the morning. Say, damn, I gotta go to work. And we watch a morning routine, which is almost mirrored of any other adult in the country, or anyone for that matter. So I saw that kind of creative, and then we meet, Erica arrives, she gets a nice breakfast, and then the big trainer dude's like, okay, use the bathroom and we'll get started. So very, very interesting issue. I am looking forward to issue 19 of Something Is Killing the Children. Alright, next from Boom Studios, we have The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, issue number 4. This is 15 years into the future, and this is after she died in a high-rise fire. So we meet a grown up, I already forgot his name, and he complains to her, it's like, why did this person have to die? Why did that person have to die? On and on and on, and he is so angry and unhappy with her. And it's a good story. He's a successful businessman. He's got a nice home, investments, income, etc. What any 38-year-old would want. The book starts us off in a new temple. The temple talks to her, and the temple requests, hey, can you go find this person that used to walk past me all the time? And she said yeah, and we find out later in the book that person unfortunately passed away. So this has been a fantastic series from Boom. I really like this. Ramby's doing a fantastic job on this. So really love it. Alright, next up is our Image Comics. And we only have one Image comic book, it looks like. And this is Shadecraft issue number 5. What a wonderful issue. What a good series. Basically, we have, and wow, I even forgot these characters' names. That happens a lot when you read 20-something books in a single sitting. You forget things quickly. But anyways, we have our character here with her mom, who used Shadowcraft to invade this government facility and to find her brother and their son. And was a really good read, really, really good series. I absolutely enjoyed everything out of Shadecraft. So I'm looking forward to the future of Shadecraft. It looks like it's going to be ongoing, but it looks like it's going to be on hiatus for an undetermined amount of time, while the writers and artists focus on other projects. So that was a good book, and now that family is reunited, and the ending will make your heart swell with joy. So yeah, good book. This book came out a while back. This is just Infinite Destinies Black Cat Annual 1, and this is the 1 in 25 cover. I was surprised that my LCS still had it, so I was like, hey, I'll go ahead and pick it up. Why not? So I did. Beautiful cover, so I am definitely going to be getting this graded. Since it's being graded, we should probably put it over there. Next up is The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 71. This is a beautiful Peach Momoko anime variant cover, and this too is going to be going off to be graded. Probably not by EGS, but probably by CBCS. EGS, they did a good job on my 3 books that I have behind me, but I want to see what their new cases look like first, because there's a lot going on with that case right now. But I really love this cover. The story picks up right after the end of Sinister War number 1, when Doc Ock's Sinister 5 are attacking the Sinister 6 group, and Spidey's kind of caught in the middle of it, and Mysterio, who's playing his role best he can, sojourns MJ, and it turns out that MJ was being shown this stuff by Kindred. So very interested to see where all this Kindred stuff goes. I dropped Spider-Man ASM like 12 issues ago, and I started reading this again. So we'll see how it goes. And I really love this cover, so I was going to be graded. And I got a second one on the way too. Alright, next up is Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters. This is the Star Wars main story, not a spin-off. So basically, Luke Skywalker and the Rebel Alliance are scurrying to find an outside, go to an outer rim world, and there they find a Star Destroyer holding siege against the Rebel Alliance that's stuck on this planet. And it was an alright read. Nice and action-packed, good space battle. And nature be scary, yeah. And then towards the end, it finally ties back in with the War of the Bounty Hunter story, which has been great. All right, next up is Black Widow number 9 with my Marvel Comics. I love this series. I love what Kelly Thompson is doing with it. I love the artist she has on here. I think the artist for this one was Casagrande and De La Torre and Belair. What a fantastic read Black Widow has been since issue 1. The pacing is awesome. The story is driving. It makes you wonder. I absolutely enjoyed it. Yeah. So basically, this picks up at the end of Black Widow 7, where Yelena is dead, but obviously she's not. And we see Natasha's protege use her powers for good. And they are working on developing an antidote for the serum because the last person that overused their powers turned to goo. And yeah. Good stuff. I like it. Yeah. Alright, next up is Infinite Destinies Thor Annual 1. Basically what we got going on here is just like a gala 15 years after War of the Realms, or 10 years after War of the Realms. And all the major leaders of all the 9 realms join together, and then we have this forest elf that gets possessed by this night creature thing. Var, I think is his name. And he trips Thor up and stows hatred and fear within Thor and forces it to grow exponentially. And we see what could have been. But it was an okay read. You don't really need to read it if you're a Thor reader. It's just like a little side story. I don't see anything important coming out of it. But we did have an Infinite Destiny storyline where Nick Fury is being brainwashed by none other than Nighthawk from the Heroes Reborn series. So we are, I think I know what Infinity Score and Infinite Destinies is trying to do. And I love it. Alright, continue on with Marvel. We have Black Cat issue number 8. Infinity Score Part 1. Basically, this book is this Felicia post sending the Silver Fox to hell, and she's trying to figure out what to do with herself. But she is working on a new heist, which is going to kick off this huge Infinity Stone storyline. And it was an alright read. Nick Fury's in it, and he's trying to stop Black Cat, and Black Cat was always one step ahead of him. Good battle, and the ending, not going to spoil it, but the ending does have a reappearance of a certain character. Alright, next up is the tie-in Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters, Jabba the Hutt. Basically, this is just like a little side story of some back history between Boba Fett and Jabba, and this new bounty hunter whose name I also forgot, but she is brutal and she likes to eat people. And we kind of see how he got his invite to the Crimson Dawn thing going on with the entirety of the War of the Bounty Hunters storyline. It was alright. I could probably done without it though. And next up we have Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters. This is Darth Vader, issue number 14. And basically what we got going on here is another flashback story to how Darth Vader learned about the Crimson Dawn thing. And we meet this high administrator who was then demoted to a sub-administrator and then went back to being an administrator. And she was the one that tried to defeat Vader after all his upgrades. And Vader told her that was a mistake, and you know what happens when you cross Vader. It doesn't end well for you. So, very interesting story. Really been loving Darth Vader, and we'll see how this all pans out. I think this would read better if the next main War of the Bounty Hunters miniseries book was out right now. Alright, next we have Captain Marvel. This is issue number 30. And the end of the Magic arc. Basically what we got here is Captain Marvel was betrayed by Mara in the last issue. And she's trying to kill Norm now so she can try to avoid the future where everyone just kind of dies. So I thought it was a very interesting read. Good action. Good backstory. We learned a little bit of what she is capable of, but Doctor Strange being Doctor Strange is like, you did something that's going to cause another thing. So, we'll see. We will see. This was a good book. Great artwork, good story, good action. Norm wasn't necessarily killed, but he was poisoned. Sorry for spoilers. And now Captain Marvel has 2 new enemies. So we'll see how that plays out. Alright, on to my DC books. I'm getting there. This is Ruby Justice League, issue number 4. I had dropped this because I felt I didn't want it anymore, but after I read issue number 3, just fresh off the rack, I'm like, oh, well, let me read it, because it is a good miniseries. Basically what we get here is they are on the quest to find the next metahuman, pretty much, with a strong resemblance, and that so happens to be Aquaman. And we kind of learn how these students from Vale and the other continents in the Rubyverse were, in Remnant, were kidnapped. So Very interesting story. I've been loving it, so I'm really interested to see who's all behind this. I'm thinking that we might get Salem or Cinder or Roman Torchwick in the comics. We'll find out. But I've been enjoying Ruby Justice League. It's a fun series. And that's what comics are supposed to be. They're supposed to be fun. Alright, next up is Batman Secret Files 1 Huntress. Basically, these are the events that take place with Huntress shortly after Batman Detective Comics issue 1039. And she's in the hospital. She's freed of what's his name? We'll call it the virus, or starts with a V. I forgot, but she's cured of that parasite. But now she's able to see everything that this person's doing, or all the infected, really. And she goes out to stop those infected people from hurting themselves. So it's a good story. I'm really interested to see how it carries over to into Batman Detective Comics. And I will do better to remember his name, because it should be simple. Oh well. Like I said, I read all 20 of these last night. Alright, next up is Robin, issue number 4, Training with Granddaddy. This was a great issue. Basically, we see Damian, who was thrown off a cliff by Hawk, joins up with his grandfather Ra's al Ghul on some paradise island, and Ra's al Ghul is trying to teach Damian, hey, you don't need to be angry or so much hatred in your heart, and all this philosophical stuff. And then there's some training that takes place, and yeah, I've been enjoying Robin. There's not much else to say that wouldn't spoil this book. So yeah, Robin issue 4. Alright, next up is Batman Detective Comics. This is issue 1040. This is Bruce Wayne behind bars. So the jail that Bruce Wayne was in got blown to bits by Worth. And he turns himself in, and he's thrown in the pen with all your typical Friday night drunks and other unghastly people. They called it the tank, actually. And the guy who he talks with, who looks almost identical to Bruce Wayne, is like, I know you're Batman. And Bruce Wayne's like, what makes you think that? And we get a little bit of a backstory from one of Batman's Joker fights. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I enjoyed the read, and I'm interested to see where it all goes. I don't remember much about it. Alright, next up is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, issue number 2. We're on a road trip, or a space trip you could call it, and this is driven by narration mainly, so there is a lot of dialogue in this book, but it's good dialogue. It kind of mentions what's all going on in the background, describes things, helps you better understand things, etc., etc. So I thought it was all right. Not a lot happened in this book. It was just more like talking back and forth, getting to their destination, learning basic human hygiene. This girl right here, the one in the hood next to Supergirl, doesn't know basic human hygiene. So yeah. But Supergirl, being kind as she is, teaches her how to wash her hands, and Kryptonian how to count to 20. So Yeah, it was an alright book. I've been enjoying it. I think it's going to be a good little miniseries from Tom King. Alright, next up is Catwoman issue number 33. LA Town has become 2020, basically. There's a lot of protests on there for equal rights. Lot of reflections in our current world today. But yeah, don't want to dwell too much on that. So the magistrate, this is the magistrate's first operation, so we're going to really start getting into the magistrate thing soon. So be on the lookout for that. Basically, Catwoman finally meets Father Valley face to face, and they have a fight. And that's all I'm going to say. It was a good book. I'm really liking how Ramby's handling Catwoman, and looking forward to where Father Valley will kind of take care of things, pretty much. So we'll see. He'll probably be thrown behind bars because he is trying to kill Catwoman. Alright, on to my pick of the week and runner-up of the week. Or of the comic book haul. So runner-up is going to be Nightwing issue 82. Tom Taylor is doing something amazing with Nightwing now. Every issue is good, it's solid, it's paced well. I've had no complaints about it whatsoever. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to how this all plays out in the end. So basically we learn more about Melinda Zuko, who is actually the stepsister. I'm thinking she is the stepsister of Dick Grayson, or she is technically the biological sister, even though that her mother is not Dick's mother, and her father is someone different. Or no, her father is Dick Grayson's father. It's all confusing, so I'm hoping that gets cleared up. But I love it. We meet Melinda Zuko's mother, and Melinda Zuko's mom gives us the backstory of who she is, basically. So I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to where Tom Taylor goes with Nightwing from here. Because that ending, I'm really interested. There's going to be a lot of betrayals, I think. A lot of revelations. And for the pick of the week, that is going to be Radiant Black issue number 6. I consider Radiant Black the adult Power Rangers, because let's face it, this is not child friendly at all. It is not. But if a kid does read it, I hope they understand that these are, in fact, real issues that are faced by some adults, by a lot of us. So basically what this book is about is we learn more about Radiant Red here. And her fiance has a bit of a gambling addiction, and is also a developer, a broke developer. And he pretty much uses all their money to feed his gambling addiction. She's going to school, she's teaching, she's working on her master's degree, and everything in this book just spoke to me, because I've encountered a lot of these situations myself. Not the gambling addiction. I don't gamble. I did when I was in Vegas, but I wasn't gambling to think that I was going to make money. I was gambling to just have a little bit of fun. But it's not something that I would want to do constantly. And eventually it became too much for her, and it looked like she was about to commit suicide off a cliffside from some remote home where she does all her studies to get away from her fiance. and she is met with the Radiant Red Orb, and I'm just like, huh, interesting, very good book. And when she goes to use her college funds to help keep their house, uh, she finds zero money in that account, and you know how that plays out. And then she robs a bank, and that's how Radiant Red became a bank robber. But I understand her motives behind it. So really looking forward to how the rest of the Radiant Black series plays out. I've been loving this. This, I think, is better than Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin put together. So yeah, pick of the week. Anyways, guys, I think that's the end of this video. If you liked this video, subscribe to my channel to see more of my content. It does help. I'm at 52 or 53 subscribers, last check. My next subscriber milestone is 100. And once I reach 100 subscribers, I am going to learn how to do a giveaway. And behind me, I'm going to give away one of these 3 slabs behind me for free. These 3 slabs behind me are EGS slabs, Signature Series 9.8s. And I will show more as we draw closer and closer to me reaching 100 subscribers. And I am really, really thrilled about that, guys. I am absolutely thrilled to have 52 subscribers. May not sound like a lot to some people, but to me, it means a ton. So thank you, guys. If you want to further support the channel, I do have links down below. I do have a Patreon. It's the price of a single comic book a month. And any money that I get from that is going to help fund this channel a little extra, because I invest a lot of time and money into getting this channel, and I'm working on enhancing the channel, video editing, etc, etc, etc. But I've gone on too long. This video is probably definitely over 20 minutes, so definitely like this video. Helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you didn't like it, okay, you can hit the dislike button. And if you want to know exactly when I submit videos, go ahead and hit that notification bell in the upper right hand corner of your screen, and you'll be notified when I post my videos. I don't just do comics, I also do light novels. Mainly Sword Art Online right now, but I am looking at more light novels. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good day, good weekend, stay safe, and leave a comment down below what you liked about the video and what polls did you grab this week and what are you grabbing next week. I want to know. Alright, guys, thank you for watching, and you all have a good weekend.